Hello, hi. Good evening, everyone. My name is Shakti Singh, and I'm the program manager at AgriSURE. And it's my pleasure to welcome you all to the AgriSURE Greenathon Introductory Session. We're thrilled to have you all with us today. We embark on this journey to innovate, revolutionize sustainable agriculture. Today, we'll explore the objective of AgriSURE's Greenathon, the exciting challenges ahead, and how can you make a significant impact in your journey over this hackathon altogether. So what are we covering here today is we'll begin with the outlining the agenda. So firstly, we'll share an overview of the unique hackathon and its goal. What is the vision behind Greenathon altogether? Then our esteemed panel of mentors will delve into these specific problem statements. Following that, I'll be able to guide you through the idea submission processes, key timelines, and the offline demo day. We'll conduct an Q&A. We've sent out a form rolling out to all of you guys, which has collected certain questions that I'll put across to the table for the mentors to answer, and with the belief that it should be helpful for all of you to progress from here onwards. And if you have follow-up questions, please feel free to post it in the live chat of YouTube, and then we can pick it up those questions from there certainly. So without any further ado, I'll just walk you through what is the vision, what is the aim, and the overview of the overall hackathon together. The government is launching Agri Fund for startups and rural enterprise AgriSURE, a 750 crore Category 2 alternative investment fund aimed to support startups and agripreneurs in agriculture sector. So this fund will provide both equity and debt investments to foster innovation and sustainability in agriculture altogether. Managed by NAB Ventures or NABARD subsidiary, it will follow and focus on enhancing the agriculture value chain, rural investments, and also employment. We also had a great launch session, and it was done by our minister and also launched by Mr. Shri KV, Chairman NABARD, and Mr. A.K. Sahu, Joint Secretary, Department of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. So we had a great time launching this. We had great response coming in from the audience. We have a lot of participation already there. But who are the eligible, participants that can actually get registrations and the products submitted on the Greenathon? So we are allowing startups who are already working into agritech. We are open to have submissions from student developers, working professionals, any freelancer who has great ideas to put together to this initiative. We are open for everybody to contribute here. Not just that, we have great prize pool this time. So we have winners will take back 3 lakhs amount, followed by 2 lakhs and 1 lakhs equally. And not just that, but eligible startups who are already working into it or have the right alignment with the problem statement that we are trying to capture here also stand a chance to get funding opportunities from our department. So that's a great value taken out. That's a great thing that we are proposing. That is a great initiative that's put together on your table. If you're still not registered for it, do check it out on hack2skill.com, and we should be more than happy to have your submissions across to our table to check it out. Right. I'll not take much of the time into this, and we'll straightforwardly move ahead into the agenda of today's call, which is moreover focusing on the problem statements and getting some insights from our mentor panel altogether. So we'll discuss about the problem statements that are there on the platform itself. If people who have already registered joined us today here, so we have 3 certain problem statements listed on the website. So track 1 is smart agriculture on a budget. Track 2 is turning agri-waste into profitable business opportunities. Track 3 is tech solution making, regenerative agriculture remuneration. So these are the 3 problem statements that we are going to discuss in brief. So our mentor panel will help us, get the right expectation set for the problem statements, right solutioning, what is the expected solution. You can quickly have a look at it. If you have certain questions, please feel free to post it in the chat. So without any further ado, I would like to invite onto the stage Shri Manikumar, Chief Manager at NABARD, and Dr. Bhavani Shankarji, Chief General Manager at NABARD, to take up these problem statements here onwards. So I'll one after the other, so both of you, if you can quickly introduce yourselves, your background, and therefore we'll move ahead with the problem statements. We'll go one after the other. Anyone, if you can start.
Good evening, Shri, and thanks for facilitating this, AMA session. I'm Manikumar here, Chief General Manager with NABARD. So I have more than 3 decades of experience working in the developmental banking space. And in my earlier posting, I was Chief Operating Officer of NAB Ventures. And in that role, I have had the opportunity to interact with numerous agritech, fintech, and tech startups. So associating with this AgriSURE Greenathon is a sort of homecoming for me because it gives me another opportunity to connect with the startups. And as you have very briefly mentioned, since this is basically meant to support the agricultural sector by bringing in technology, so we have identified 3 very relevant problem statements from a tech adoption perspective in the field of agriculture. So as he briefly mentioned, one on smart agriculture on a budget, where we are looking at solutions which are low cost and easy to scale up and easy to use. Turning agri waste into profitable business opportunities, the second one, and the third is on tech solutions which can help make regenerative agriculture more remunerative, both from an adoption and a practice perspective. I have with me
sorry to interrupt you, sir. If you can just pull up the mic a little near to you, would be great. There's an echo happening.
Is it better now?
Yeah, better.
Okay. So as I was saying, we are looking at 3 major problem statements: smart agriculture on a budget, turning agri waste into profitable business opportunities, and the third on tech solutions, making regenerative agriculture more remunerative, both from an adoption and a practice perspective. I have with me my colleague, Dr. Bhavani, Shankar, Chief General Manager, heading Farm Sector Development Department. So I will request him to amplify all these 3 problem statements a bit more, with a bit more of detailing. As we said, devil is in the details. So once we lay out what is it we are looking for, probably as solution providers, you'll be able to hit the target more bang on.
Thanks, Manikumarji. And thanks, Shakti. A brief intro about me is that I'm Bhavani Shankar. I am Chief General Manager of Farm Sector Development Department. I have been with NABARD since 1996 and worked in various states and sectors. Presently, I'm leading a department which is called Farm Sector Development Department, which primarily deals with the natural resource management programs, which also includes agri innovations, which could be a relevant subject here. Without taking any more time, I would briefly touch upon these 3 problem statements. The first one is smart agriculture on a budget. See, one of the key challenges in Indian agriculture is management of the resources. Okay, be it soil, water, plant health, and even planning the planting schedules and taking appropriate decisions at the farm level. I mean, before I go further into it, let me tell you, emphasize a point. 86% of farm holdings in India are small and marginal. Okay, that is less than 2 hectares and much smaller, and it is dwindling day after day. And when it comes to soil, all of us, somebody who studied agriculture or has some familiarity with agriculture, the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, which is popularly called as NPK ratio, is 4:2:1. I mean, which is the recommended technically sound ratio. But then we see the ratio has gone haywire, and now ratio stands at 12:7:1 kind. So this is a improper use of plant nutrition. If you take water, you also see flooding in paddy or flooding in sugarcane, etc., crops. So all this, and also plant health. So a lot of fertilizer, etc., are applied without actually having an idea of what are the right quantities and access to that information. So all this lead to what consequentially happening is increased cost of production, pest outbreak because there is loss of resistance to pests and diseases, and loss of crop productivity. Ultimately, the net returns of the farmers are affected. Okay, but then what are the why this is so happening? First is the availability of right information at the right time. Which is possible cost. And as I said in my first statement, that 86% of farm holdings are small and marginal, which makes it amply clear that the solutions that are required at the farm level also require to be cost effective and impactful. And technology can solve this riddle. Now, I mean, just to quote an example, if I want to exactly measure what kind of fertilizer or water I have to put, I have technologies. I can go into a protected cultivation and I can, sitting in like this, I can operate a laptop and see that the right doses are applied. Okay, the technologies are certainly available. Okay, but then right time, right place for the farmer is the challenge. And with this kind of technologies that are available, there are enough. I mean, there are also cost-effective solutions, but then the access to it is a bit limited. So that would lead to the point on the viability and the bankability of such models at the farmer level, or if it is a bit larger infra than at a group of farmer level like EFPOs who can afford. But ultimately, the objective is the small and marginal farmer has to have access at reasonable cost. So this is all about the first one. And if I move to the second problem statement, that is turning agri-waste into profitable business. I'll start with a small piece of data. The next zone area of the country is approximately 140 million hectares. And the agri-waste, when I'm saying agri-waste, I'm primarily referring to the crop residue. There can be other waste like post-harvest losses also. The crop residue alone is 140 million metric ton. And a crude comparison is that every hectare is producing 1 ton of plant residue, and this is what that has to be managed. Why we need to manage? Because plant residue or the farm waste is posing environmental challenges. The Punjab Haryana straw burning is a very well-known example. Okay, and also it also is leading to loss of possible income for the farmer. If you are not utilizing the farm waste properly, that's a potential loss for farmers' income, because this farm waste can also be translated into some kind of a income to the farmer. And there are various ways to utilize this agri waste. It can be turned into briquettes, it can be turned into mulching, or it can be plowed back into the soil, and some engines can be applied. All those kind of solutions are emerging. Like I said earlier, the same issue applies here. The affordability of this, and also accessibility of these technologies, and adoption, and also the awareness of these technologies to the farmers. So if technology can provide some solution, cost-effective solutions, which can be utilized at the farm level or at a group of farmers level, or like a cooperative society is there, they can set up something at a reasonable cost. This is what we are looking at. And the third one, that is the regenerative agriculture. Regenerative agriculture is making a lot of buzz nowadays. Now, if you look at the evolution of the development of Indian agriculture post-independence, we have a pre-green revolution and a post-green revolution. While the green revolution enabled the food security, having said so, over the years, due to the vulnerabilities that are arising out of climate change and several other issues, the sustainability of farming is becoming a issue at the national level. Sustainability of farming also means the sustainability of livelihoods. So in this context, regenerative agriculture is gaining prominence, and regenerative agriculture as it is a set of principles and approaches that will address the health of the ecosystems. That is agri ecosystems. This could be organic farming. This could be what you call the zero budget natural farming or natural farming in whatever form it is called. But then what are the challenges here? The key challenges that are often set are, one is low profitability. Low profitability in the sense there is always a transition cost. Me cultivating a commercial crop, am accustomed to use high external inputs. Now me have to transfer to a low input local technology of regenerative agriculture would obviously lead to some transition issues. Okay, and because of which the profitability or the enthusiasm of the farmers may be a bit difficult. I mean, the transition process is difficult. Second part is, see, ultimately what we are expecting is the farmer gets a optimal returns to his produce. But then unless the market knows about that this is a produce that has come from a farm out of natural farming or regenerative farming, the value, it is not a value proposition to the farmer. So therefore, it is important that the market value chains should establish the traceability of the farm produce which is coming out of the regenerative farming. So that is another challenge. And also the measurement of, see, we are transferring to a low input, low input and also right amount of input which is naturally available. So for which, how do we, using that, we intend to produce, but how do you measure it? Measure its impact. See, primarily when we are talking about regenerative farming, it's all about talking about the soil, water. That means the measurements or the metrics for soil carbon. I'm just quoting an example: soil carbon, soil moisture, so that it will tell us the impact of these practices on the environment as well as sustainability. So technology is expected to fill in this gap. So this is what we are looking at. To sum up, we are looking at cost-efficient solutions to address these issues that are concerning in the Indian agriculture. So this is where I stop, and I would request Shakti to take forward.
Sure. Thank you so much, sir, for your kind feedback and highlighting all of the issues that are actually what we are trying to solve here through this hackathon, and set up the right context for participants and people who are participating in this hackathon to, bring in solutions, the ideas, and the developments all together. What we'll do is quickly from here onwards, I have a few questions regarding the challenges. We'll pick up those questions. Then I should be able to walk everybody through the next step processes. So let's go to the first one. So we have a question regarding the track one. Would any data be provided to work on AI solutions? Is there any recommended data, or anybody can use any publicly available data sets, for example, soil, air, weather patterns, and etc., to come up with any solutions? Is that feasible? Do you have any direction towards it?
See, the participants can use any of the data that is available in the public domain. If you, for the track one, a few such examples, I'm just quoting an example, Suki. Here, like you can always look into the data of Indian Meteorological Department. There are certain data sets that are available there. And there is something called Indian Water Resource Information System, which is a pretty exhaustive. It is available. It's an authentic source because it's on Jal Shakti Ministry of, I'm not sure, it's a Jal Shakti Department one. It is called WARIS, Water Resource Information System. which has got 135 layers of data, GIS layers of data, okay, on 6 different themes. It just not only covers the water part of it, it also covers the land resources part of it. What kind of land, what is the quality of the land, etc., etc. Like all the salinity, pH, etc., etc. Those layers are also available on this particular data. While I am quoting these 2 examples, there are several other databases which can certainly be used, and the participants are open to use any of them.
Thank you for addressing that. There's a quick follow-up question before I go to that. Sir, do you have any other inputs to make?
No, just to supplement Dr. Bhavani, I think there are many tech solutions which we are reading about, which enables us to monitor the crop health, factors harvesting, and they use predict the productivity, right? So and these are all very critical solutions, not only from a productivity perspective, but also from a risk management perspective. Because when you talk of crop loss because of climate events, and then there is a question of compensating the farmer to agri insurance. So all these technology models will help, not only the farmer, it can also help the ecosystem, agricultural ecosystem. So be it a support system in terms of framing more benign policies, but that may require robust data based on very simple but scalable technologies. So we are looking at all those aspects, not only the input and output management, but also crop health, crop monitoring, post-harvest management, storage of produce. All those things are covered. So it's a wide basket. So people can pick up something. Only thing what Dr. Bhavani told that needs to be reiterated. The solution should be cost effective. It should be scalable and easy to adopt. Thank you.
Thank you for addressing and adding that up, sir. A follow-up question to this is, how will the affordability of the proposed solution be evaluated?
The affordability in one line, if we have to, one line answer to this could be the benefit should outweigh the cost. Okay. Again, go back to what I have said earlier. It should be feasible. It should be affordable for the farmer. Okay. See, it can be implemented or it can be as a project taken up by anybody. Okay. Anybody in the sense that maybe a farmer producer organization, maybe a society, primary agriculture cooperative produce society. But then the service to the farmer should come at a price which gives you benefit over the cost. And also, one should look at the bankability of this particular model. Okay, bankability, I mean that if some kind of a credit is involved, it should be repaid with the farmer's income. Okay, so this is the response from our end.
Sure, thank you so much for adding up there. These questions were summarized from all the questions that we got, and we found out that these were the mostly asked questions. So we'll quickly move ahead to the second track. And the first question for this would be, are there any specific types of agri-waste that are more desirable for this hackathon? Are we looking into one such a certain category or not? Yeah.
See, any crop residue. Okay. There is nothing specific. And if you want me to do a bit of data crunching, I would again say 140 million hectares and 140 million metric tons of crop residue. Okay, or agri-waste you may call. The second point is more than 50% of this, 50 to 60% of this, that is about 90 million metric tons, comes from paddling. Okay, that would be followed by sugarcane. Right. So there is no specific agri-waste. There is no specific agri-waste. It could be any of these. Any of the products. The cotton brings out a lot of waste, which is used in paper industry. Okay. So likewise, any kind of agri-waste is okay. And sugarcane waste is used for ethanol blending. So any kind of agri-waste is okay. And then for that matter, the post-harvest wastage of fruits and vegetables is also used in some energy institutions for energy purposes.
Sure.
Any kind of agri-waste. Okay.
Yeah. Any inputs from you also?
No, I totally agree with him. So, crop residue is number one in terms of the impact it can help reduce on the environment. So we look at that. But having said that, any type of agri waste on the field which can be addressed through a solution is most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a quick question to that is, what are the economical viable criteria for evaluating such business models? Because now we are looking into profitability also here. Can you throw some light?
Yeah, see, basically in any of these sort of interventions, so we are looking at what we basically call in the banking parlance as a benefit cost analysis. You see what my friend Bhavani made a mention. So the criteria could include, the benefits can come in two ways. One is reducing costs, that's going to benefit the farmer in a way. And also, what will be the inflow, the cash inflow he will get because of this intervention. For example, take the agri-waste thing. Presently, he is not earning anything on the agri-waste, and that's why he is burning it and then creating environmental problems, right? He made a mention of, the smog in Delhi because of the stubble burning in Punjab and Haryana. Now, imagine a situation where you can find a profitable use for the agri-waste. So he is going to get a stream of money for that, right? Somebody is going to buy it from him for value. So that brings in inflows. And since he is not burning, he is reducing cost on burning it also. He may have to put something to burn it, some laborer and all those things, right? And also the land. What I understand is once you burn that residue, is going to have an impact on the topsoil. So that is also going to create a challenge there in terms of inputting more sort of inputs for the next cropping season. So reducing cost at the same time identifying cash flow. So that is what we are basically looking at. These two factors which will enable the farmer to adopt the solution. Then it makes sense for it. Isme kuch paisa bhi banega, his cost is also going to come down, right?
Yeah.
So that answers your question.
No, absolutely makes sense. Do you want to add up something here, sir?
That's it.
Oh, sure. Thank you so much. One other question is, are there any regulatory or policy considerations for processing and utilizing agri-waste?
See, there are certainly certain regulations that the participant can refer to. For instance, for the agri-waste management, the immediate thing that comes to my mind is there are solid waste management rules, 2016. Okay, there are air quality regulations. Okay, the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981. There is a National Clean Air Program. Okay, and some policy references could be on the sustainable agriculture or the regenerative agriculture. There is something called Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana, which outlines what is India's vision. Okay, for sustainable farming. There are programs like Bharatiya Prakratik Kisan Paddhati, which touches upon the practices that can be made. There are NABARD programs. An example is a program called Jiva. And there are incentives for mechanizing the agri-waste management. All these things can be referred to depending on the solution which the participants are working on or intend to work upon. And there is a national policy on biofuels. Okay, I think this is 2018 if I am right. Okay, so these are some of the things that can be looked at.
And just a quick supplement, maybe the pollution control board guidelines of respective states. The states also have the state pollution control board. They also come out with guidelines. So any of those guidelines which are applicable to the intervention, they are going to bring a solution for. Probably it will be better to keep that in view when you are developing this. Thank you.
One quick point also is there is for projects, there is something called environmental impact assessment. This is a thought, this is considered only for a very huge project. Popularly, it is considered as necessary for very huge projects. But there will be certain interventions which require this environmental impact assessment, even if it is a small scale. So EIAK, there is a set of guidelines that are there. Participants can even look into those things.
For sure, sir. Thank you so much for enlightening on the regulations piece. So I'll move ahead with the third problem statement and we'll place it up there. We have a few questions coming in from the chat as well. I'll have a close look at it, and if those are related to the problem statement, we'll quickly pick it up from the chat itself. But before we move ahead, I'd like to quickly check upon, since this third problem statement is a little objective, is to make regenerative agriculture remunerative. Do we need to explain in depth, the participants need to explain in depth the economical viability as well, or just focus on the tech part of the solution?
Shakti, I think the moment you talk of benefits, see, your technology solution is going to definitely address a problem and bring some benefits. That's why we are actually, embarking on finding a solution, right? Now, how will the farmer be excited to adopt that solution unless he is convinced that there is some benefit for him? That benefit should transcend technology terms then, right? So the technology part, notwithstanding that, by adopting the technology, what is the benefit the farmer is going to get in terms of cost reduction or income increase? So naturally, we would like the participants to also give us a sense of what is the benefit for the farmer by adopting the solution. So I would just like to take a minute to connect this to the earlier question you had asked on affordability. I remember earlier you had asked on affordability. Just to supplement what Dr. Bhavani told at that time, I believe affordability can also be seen in a very binary lens. Say that what is affordable to you? Suppose the solution, by adopting the solution, you will have to pay so much. By not adopting the solution, you will have to pay much more. Right? So it's a question of having the solution and not having the solution. And if having the solution will reduce your loss or reduce your outgo, it makes sense to get the solution. So to that extent, even in this case, when we talk of the economic viability part, yes, of course, we would like the participants to explain to us when they give the solution what will be the benefit in terms of financial number. Say X. They can even give a range telling that if you adopt this solution, your cost will come down by 1x, or your benefits will go up by 2x with a baseline, which will give us a sense, and it will help the the ultimate users of the solution to appreciate and consider adopting. So that's in that sense, we will require some number of financial.
Yeah, that's very pertinent.
Thank you, Shankar.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much. The other question for this track is, how will the environmental impact of regenerative agriculture practices be measured and quantified? How is that process done?
See, there could be several parameters or the metrics which can be considered. One is the saving in fertilizer usage. Okay. The second is extrapolating that information to lower carbon footprint. Okay. There could be a metric that is I said this earlier also, on the soil health, maybe a measurement of soil carbon. Okay. And then biodiversity, and how the regenerative agriculture can lead to a circular economy, because it is regenerative agriculture by the very name. So there can be any number or any kind of metrics. Ultimately, this is the ultimate metric could be the accessibility of this plus the profitability of farm, the net income of the farm.
Thanks for adding that up, sir. Now that we are talking about it, are there any specific regenerative agriculture practices participants should focus on? So, for an example, cover cropping, crop rotation, livestock integrations.
All this. If you look at the basket of regenerative agriculture practices, whatever you have said, there is a cover cropping, there is a crop rotation, there is livestock integration, there is mulching, there are like certain things like which are which are already in practice, like Shri paddy cultivation, which is called Sustainable Rice Initiative or Sustainable Sugarcane Initiative. There is an integrated farming system. There are some models like ATMs. If you say ATM, anytime money, this is in other words called 365-day crop. So there are several practices. Okay, all this would work out to be around 20 to 25. Okay, so these any of these that they can look into.
For sure. Thank you so much for adding up those. I'll quickly have a quick check on the chat itself. And if there are certain questions, I should be able to pull it up to your table. Else, we are good to go here. So there's a question I should take that up from on your behalf. Asked by Nidhi, can we present our startup idea in track 1? Currently, we are in idea stage. A perfect product has been created and we're working on. Definitely, Nidhi, you can absolutely look into the hackathon, register yourself, your team. And if your solution is aligning to track 1, please go ahead, submit your prototype, and we should be able to take up and have a close look at it before we announce the shortlist reports. It is also open for students. It is also open for professionals and startup people. Anybody and any genre of these categories can definitely participate. All you need to do is So the deadline for submission is so please make sure that you register yourself. You submit your idea before that given time. But thank you so much for throwing up light on the problem statements and answering those questions for us, both of you. And thanks for joining us today. All, if you want to stay with us for the rest of the session, would really appreciate. But we are covered up with the problem statement, please.
Yeah, thank you, Shakti.
Thanks, Shakti.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Participants.
Thank you. So just to move ahead with everybody else who has joined us today here with the submissions and the ideas phase all together. So what we can typically look into is we are currently into the registration and the idea submission phase. And if you have already registered, you must have your own personalized dashboard with you, right? And if you don't, just go to the website, register yourself, and be a part of this great initiative that we are putting together with NABARD. So the idea submission closes on July 26th. So make sure you're submitting your ideas, your prototype, everything before that given point of time. So I'll just showcase you how the website looks like and how is that happening. I believe you're able to see my screen. So that's the website. If you just go to Hackathon, you'll find this website there. Register yourself. All the details have been given on the website. Do give it a check on your own. Have a close look if this is aligning with your solutions or your ideas of creating innovation into the space. So there are different tracks altogether. There you should be able to find a schedule. So we're doing offline demo day on August 14th. So that's tentative as of now, but we should be able to confirm you at the earliest if you've already signed in. We roll out information to all the registered participants. There are a lot of benefits. You can also look into it and certain FAQs for you to quickly address certain queries that you might have. So all you need to do is you need to register yourself first. So I am a registered participant, so I am able to see a dashboard button here. But else, if you're new to this platform, you should be able to see register now. So once you're done with the registration, you should be able to land onto a page like this, which says welcome Shakti, and choose a challenge of your choice. Any one track that I might be working on or would like to work and propose solution about. So I can choose any one of these. Then certainly form a team. So how do I form a team? I just scroll to the bottom of the page itself, or maybe you can click here into the team management, and you should be able to form a team. All you need to do is give a cool name to your team and then create a team, invite people with your invitation link, invite your colleagues, friends, anybody that you want to join your team in. There's also a sample template available onto the dashboard itself. You can download this from using this button here. Once you download this, start filling up the details which are requested here. There are certain headers which are already given, which are the prerequisites for the submission altogether. So we need answers to this in order to take you through the idea submission evaluation process, and you make it up to the finale itself. Do give it a check out. Once you're done with the presentations and all of that, demo video links, GitHub, and all of your product links, so you should be able to see this button here, which says submission. Click on that button and you should be able to submit all of the requirements. So that's very easy. I think that's very easy. If you still face any problems, so what you can do is you can write as an email to this given address here on the top itself, which says greenathon2024@hacktoskill.com. If that's not visible to you here, you can also scroll down to this page. It is right here available. Email us at greenathon2024@hacktoskill.com, and we should be more than happy to help you out, resolve all of your queries, and take you through the journey of the hackathon next phases altogether. So I'll just quickly have a close look. Yes, you need to submit your prototypes if you have that with you. Other than that, you need to submit your demo videos. If you're a registered startup or you're already working on any of these problem statements, you don't have to submit your code base or anything that has a proprietorship. So you just have to give us the details, like this is my idea, this is my prototype presentation, this is my demo video link, all of that on the dashboard itself, and we should be able to take it up from there. For the others who participants, also who are solving just for this hackathon, you need to submit everything with us, and therefore we should be able to take it up from there. We will also roll out another form today, post this call itself. So if you still have any questions and unanswered, please feel free to post it in the Google form itself, and we will be taking up and coming back to you with the solutions, with the right answers. And yeah, that's about it. So make sure that you are registering yourself and your team and making that submissions happen. But with that, we do not have further more details for you as of now. But if you still looking into this opportunity, please feel free to register yourself. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today here. And we look forward to your registrations and your participations, your unique solutions coming into our table, and us looking into different aspect of it, the innovation that you're bringing onto the table. And all the very best and good luck. We will catch up with all of you very soon. And thank you so much for joining us. Have a great evening ahead.